Just what is going on? Here we are. You and me. And my fat belly. Well, that cloud up there looks like it's about to fall on my home. What can I do? What can I say? But is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, what could reality? Open your eyes, look up to the sky and see. Oh look, it's a flippin' flying saucer. Yeah, I could see that. These glasses are quite good. I've only got them on because I don't like looking at the camera. So difficult to give a talk in front of a silly little camera. What's going on? Right, well, I've been writing about UFOs for 2 years. What a complete waste of time. I could have been sitting at the pub instead. Getting pushed out of my head. Sitting at the pub instead. I could have been at the pub instead. Boozed up out of my head. That's more like it. I started writing this report 2 years ago. That's not all of it. There's a whole book. Realms of the Unreal. This is just the introduction. And a little snippet of something I wrote this morning called Agape Cry. Angels walk among you. Ochad new, and Scottish people too. While people stand in banks discussing intellectually inept issues like the weather, and drunks are boozed to the eyeballs outside bingo halls and nightclubs 24/8, drivelling politicians are constantly deceiving the crap out of society, as it unswervingly casts its spells before the swine. There's an earthquake here and an earthquake there, here a quake, there a quake, and all they do is quack, quack. Old MacDonald had a farm, but now he's got a burger chain and his God-given plot, and a hell far away is no more. It's once proud idyll, a flattened tract of land, paved in every conceivable direction. Farmer Jack sold up on the get-rich-quick fix, and then when he popped his clogs, his kin inherited the plot and pawned a lot. This collective craziness, as it sometimes gets called, is slowly, or was slowly, but surely degrading the authenticity of culture and changing history for imperceptible, questionable betters. The deckhand had sold its soul to the devil, and few were none the wiser. Most didn't even actually give a damn. Truth! What is truth? Mud boomed! It is the physical embodiment of absolute divinity in the God-man Jesus. On the one hand, absolutely, I agree. But the truth in this context was a thorough infiltration of Earth by extraterrestrials. Immortals clothed in the mortal, Nordic blondes of Anunnaki, Nephilim, Illuminati, call it what one will. All three represent angelic hosts. In the Bible, we read, man lived for 8 centuries, but sin induced the degradation of that longevity. Now, of course, it's a mere 70 years and the old 10. As if that was thrown in just for good measure. Though I'm not complaining. Just how could this so frighteningly awful fact be so terribly undermined and scorned for its trouble? Yeah, there was a contingent on the sidelines laughing at the guidelines. But the Bible warns us, be aware that you may have entertained angels. The heavenly realm fell to earth, and since the fall, these fallen ones have purportedly been running the planet. Humanity is on a string, and they and we are its farmers. They're farmers. It's soul harvesters even. That's what a friend of mine called it. But they mean to take from God what is rightfully His, and people need to be aware of this if there is to be any hope of their salvation. Welcome to the significance of Scripture, the lottery of life. And the numbers are almost up. Didn't write that. About the truth, what about those two Scots, Ewan McGregor and his cohort train-spotting counterpart Sir Bobby After Carlisle, and saying terrible things, like Darth Vader's liquidating the younglings? Darth Vader? No, he's not the devil. He's not the Salva, Krishna's Mahabharata, with the old Salva who came mounted on his Sova and evilly devastated all the city parks. You know, that's technically legal jargon. That was not a story. It was a real event. It was not a mythological event. It was real. Anyway, Darth Vader was liquidating the younglings, killing the children. Ooh, thanks for the message. Shocking. Are these two Scots, though, are they aboard this boat to bring the weary message to the football crazy Scots? Or, nah, it's just my imagination. But what almighty message might be bantering our way next, for Spock's sake? Sean Connery for a Klingon, perhaps? Or a tall white, methinks? Though I would definitely imagine that Billy Connolly would better fit the bill. Alas, the truth might be at its funniest. And none other than the Scotties can do it better. The Scottish Star Trek. That's the one to watch. It's all over YouTube. Aye, but the truth is, with man, yet he craves signs and wonders. He wants to see before he will believe. It was just this misguided demand that prompted Jesus to say, no sign, but the sign of Jonah will be given. Yet now the signs, worrying ones, are blazing all over the shop. A cow being sucked up through a cucumberous cumulus cloud, a mere sheep dissected so thoroughly in the space of 2 or 3 hours, even groups of carnivorous scientists marvelled agog at the manner in which Dolly had been slain. Beam-firing spirals appearing in the northern sky, etc., so on, and whatever. But society has been so synthetically manipulated thoroughly by starry notions of symbols come grandeur. It's like a struggling child in a pool of water, crying for help, and there is no one but an incredulous father to hear his pleas. Agape, crying. Is God love? God is love. But is love God? God is love.